Your camera's messing up again.
Let me look.
Yeah, you're all glitchy again. That's weird, man. Is that your webcam or is that new camera?
That's a new camera.
Ah.
Maybe it knows that I got a actual vlogging camera.
we gotta figure out we need to figure out how to get a video call service that will let us use 1080p because while you can definitely tell your image is better, it's more clear than the webcam, it still is only going to come through Zoom at 720. So I need to do some research. We should all look as good as I do on camera. Not looks, just the quality. I'm ugly. It's okay, guys. Anyways, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon by the time this gets out for some of you. Probably welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse YouTube channel and podcast network, available wherever you get your podcasts from, like Google, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff, Amazon even. And check out the website lrmonline.com for all your entertainment news needs and opinions, written reviews, celebrity interviews, and more. I'm Kyle, that's Manny, and Manny is again glitching. Then he's back. That's the first time it actually fixed itself. So that's weird. You might need a firmware update or something like that. I'm not sure. Super Bowl Sunday happened.
Yeah.
Congrats to the Chiefs and their fans.
Screw
right?
the
Kansas
Chiefs.
City. Yeah.
Screw their fans.
It was a fairly decent game, man.
Until the very end, huh?
It was a fairly decent
You
game
know,
overall.
what's funny is if they don't make that holding call and then they still score the 3 points and win, it's a much better game.
Yeah, I mean,
than the way it ended. And unfortunately it's like a movie where the narrative just where like at the end they just dropped the ball after having a really good solid
you mean
plot.
It was kind of like a lot of elements of Marvel Phase 4.
Kind of, yeah.
We of course will discuss a couple of the trailers from last night, but
Hell yeah.
I did of course want to talk about some box office because we've missed a few weeks of box office numbers in a row, and the weekend itself was all right. I think the weekend came in at $49 million domestically.
That's not too bad for a Super Bowl weekend.
Too shabby. Yeah. I don't remember the exact weekend last year. I should go to the next one, I think. There we go. Last year brought in 80 million.
Oh,
Just
okay.
saying.
Well,
it had a couple of new films last year, same weekend, or same week. Sorry, that's a weekly thing, not a weekend. That's my fault. Let's see, weekend chart. Weekend.
well, the
22.
thing also is that there's a couple of, if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of movies that are going to be premiering on
53. Sorry,
Tuesday.
53.
But tomorrow's gonna be the big movie day of the week. So, and
because of Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we go
anything big coming out then?
and then this weekend is the big thing with
Ant-Man
Ant-Man
and
and
the
the
Wasp.
Wasp. So for a Super Bowl weekend where like there's a good portion of people hyped over, regardless if it was the game, it was the trailers, or it was Rihanna. Not bad. I know. We can't ask for too much more.
No, like I said, last year Super Bowl same week a year ago was 53 million. This year 49, so a little bit lower. But also last year you had a couple of new movies, like I said. Death on the Nile was brand new. You still had Jackass Forever only in its second week, and so you still had that going on. This year you had Magic Mike. The Magic Mike's Last Dance. That
should have been called Step Up: The Last Dance, because that looks more like a Step Up movie than a Magic Mike movie, and you can't tell me otherwise. I don't know if you've seen the Step Up. Yeah, no.
Nope. I don't. If I don't watch musicals, you really think I watch dance movies?
I was like,
come on.
We were in the theater when we first saw this trailer a long time ago, and I was like, I call bullshit. This isn't a Magic Mike movie. This is a bait and switch. This is a Step Up movie. Don't lie to me.
And then you had the Titanic re-release, so that's still going on.
Nobody wants to watch that boat sink again.
Dude, it brought in almost as much money this weekend as Avatar did, both bringing in 6.8 for Way of Water and
Jeez, when was the last time James Cameron had that many films?
For Titanic. But man, you know, Avatar has made a hell of a lot more money than either one of us thought it would. Not only did it go way past 1.5, 1.8, it is sitting at $2.2 billion worldwide.
Good.
646 domestic. Congrats to them. We were happy for theaters to be wrong. We still don't get it.
I haven't seen it. You know, well, the thing is that everybody who watches it, nobody can tell me exactly what Avatar is about. All they can tell me is that it looks pretty. I don't know about you, but it looks so pretty. All right, what is it about? And it's like, oh, yeah, well, it's like water and stuff.
Well, it's sitting at number 10 most money making.
And I don't know if James Cameron watched Airbender or something, but now he's going to Fire Nation.
Now he's
going
to Fire Nation. Yeah. Well, all
fun. Good
it stuff. Does look like more than likely, depending on if Titanic gets any more weeks in theaters, that The Way of Water will take the number 3 worldwide spot. It is just under $1 million behind Titanic worldwide. So yeah, that's gonna happen. It will not come anywhere near. It needs another 570-80 million to reach Endgame.
God damn.
And of course, nothing's gonna touch the first film. So we'll see what happens.
I'm just glad people are going to the movies, man. It makes me happy. In my area, we talk about this all the time. People go to the theaters a lot, so people in your area, they need to step it up.
They do. I was able to very easily purchase my Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania tickets Friday, I think, and I shared it in our Discord. You guys can find a Discord link down below. Join us, have some fun in the conversations. I shared images of what it was like on the Thursday night preview for all 3 of the shows. So like the 1500, the 19 something, and the 2200 something RPX, like the big premium screen. Dude, like, holy crap, barely anything sold on any of those shows. You could still get premium seats, Sightline, Center, Premium, whatever. If you're at AMC, I'm at Regal for this one though.
I stay at Regal.
All the premium, all the best seats, big screen, still basically wide open. So does suck, but hopefully, given some of the trailers that we had this weekend, we will see a return to theaters. Hopefully, The Flash, man. I gotta say something about the Flash trailer.
All right, go ahead.
I enjoyed it for the most part. The parts that I didn't enjoy usually featured Barry. I liked almost everything I saw. I have not been a fan. I have not been a fan of Ezra Miller's Flash ever. Like, I just haven't been. It still looked like a really intense movie. It's very, very, very much more Flashpoint than I think even some of us thought it might have been.
Yeah.
So many rumors about the reshoots and retooling, and this movie has been years in the making. So I'm not surprised that it's different than what we first were getting, even from the first trailer. I don't know, man. We'll have to. It looked good. I like the stuff with Batman. The little CGI heavy with Keaton's Batman, which is kind of worrisome. I know, but like, it's worrisome. Why not just let him be old, you know? And they got the ring, so that's kind of cool. I don't know. What'd you think, man? Batflick's in it and all sorts of stuff.
I liked how it's very much Flashpoint. I think that's what I enjoyed the most, because it makes it a lot easier to explain to people. I immediately got text messages from a bunch of people wanting context as to who's Batman, why are there two Batman, and a lot of Batman questions. So my biggest takeaway from this is last week, the weeks before, ever since James Gunn's announcement, you and a trove of other people have said, why does this movie even matter? The moment yesterday, the majority of people saw Batman, forgot all about their worries about the movie. Proving our point once again that nostalgia covers up everything.
Everything.
Because the moment Keaton came on screen, nobody cared anymore.
Nope.
Everyone was like, oh hell yeah. And to me, it was the funniest thing. But it also proves another thing, is that internet nerds like us knew about all of this because we've known this through fandom and everything, and it has not been a secret. But our internet bubble that knew about this did not expand to general audiences who then saw it on Super Bowl Sunday and went, WTF, lost their yeah. And so that's another point, is that the internet is not everyone. It looks like it's gonna be a good movie. It looks like Sasha Calle's Supergirl is gonna be very intense. And it almost seems like Batman knew about her the whole time, based on the fact that I think they go out and break her out of jail, if I'm not mistaken. My question, though, is, which will be interesting to see, is there is one scene where she's carrying somebody up into the sky. I wonder if that's like a Superman who's being held by a Lex Luthor or somebody, because that does happen in Flashpoint. But then again, Supergirl just in that universe maybe that entire replacement period. But I don't know. It's just fun to speculate that. I'm very happy to see Michael Shannon back as Zod. He was a really good character in Man of Steel. So to kind of have to go back and revisit that invasion, but now without Superman, is interesting. And I'll be honest with you. In comics, in anything, I've never cared for Barry Allen because he's super whiny and annoying. I don't care if it's Grant Gustin. I don't care if it's Ezra Miller. I don't care if it's whoever it is on pencils drawing him. Barry Allen is annoying to me. He's always like, I guess that, you got to have a flaw somewhere, but his self-confidence is always garbage when it comes to solving issues. And I get it. He's fixated on saving his mom in this case, and it makes for the best, arguably the best Flash story. And you can tell the story and then reset the universe, and it actually makes sense because that's actually what happens. So
it's gonna be interesting. There were a lot of rumors at the end of last week and through the weekend, or not through the weekend, kind of ended at the weekend. But last week there was a bunch of rumors surrounding Batman, and speaking of confusing, one of the rumors was that an older Batman would be an older, not just age, but previous Batman would be the new DCU Batman. And people were, putting up Clooney's name, putting up Bale's name. Gunn absolutely said it's not Clooney in the DCU, and followed up by saying it's a completely new actor on Twitter when he was asked by a couple of Twitter users. You guys can see it on screen if you are watching us on YouTube.
You know what I can't stand, speaking of which, who's putting out that in the world?
Here we go.
Oh my freaking God. Grace Randolph, I swear, is a rash to Twitter as far as defending where she was not wrong but was wrong. And but I can't stand her so much because it's like, well, I wasn't wrong, I just said that. And it's like, hey, like, you know what, how about like just shut up and just take your loss. And and I don't know. I just some of her stuff lately is very very egocentric as far as like wanting to be right or like wanting to have the scoop or whatever, or like being very petty towards people when they're excited about something or not excited about something. And yeah, she's probably the most she's to me more annoying than Elon Musk on Twitter. So there's that.
That's hilarious.
I find her as annoying as Sony to you.
Okay.
There.
Yeah. I'll say this. I've never been a fan of hers as far as having started watching her or anything. I knew of her. Every now and then I would see a reaction of hers to trailers or something. I never liked her presentation style. I really don't. I don't like her setup. I don't like her presentation style. None of it appealed to me whatsoever. As a person, from what I've seen of her internet persona, I wouldn't necessarily want to be friends. I can say that. But it is funny to watch how, because at one point she did have some line to Warner Brothers and DC. She had a half decent track record, but it's fallen apart. And
there's a lot of insiders that either got fired or got caught up, because as far as like when it comes to scoops, there's not as many as there were a couple years back.
There's a lot, but there's not as many panning out. I think
the
hit ratio is suffering a lot.
That's the thing. It's that they're not. That's what I mean. Like we're not getting actual scoops. We get wild theories now, and
everyone's becoming Overlord DVD or Doom.
Oh my god!
Crack that idiot's name is.
So
she's fired. I swear to God, all my internal sources tell me that Kathleen Kennedy's fired, dude. She's not leaving until after Indy.
So I want to ask you about the Guardians trailer.
Yes, I wanted to bring that up next as well.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to ask?
What'd you think of it? Because I saw nothing special in it.
So I'm a bit different. I am so, what's the word I'm looking for? Cautiously optimistic about Guardians 3. It feels like a finale to something. It has that feel to it, that this is a sending off. We know several actors are ready to move on to other things. We know some actors will easily stick around, return. Gunn, we know that this is his Marvel swan song. I believe he's probably put more into this than any other project so far. And that gives me a lot of hope. I liked what I saw a lot. However, I am not the days of in Feige we trust are long gone, and that goes to the people he's working with. So I can't necessarily say in Gunn I trust. I want to, but Feige's name is still on it, so I'm still nervous, but I have high hopes, man. I really do. I think this might be the first Marvel film that I thoroughly enjoy in a while. At least I hope it is.
Well, that was Ant-Man for me. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Good. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to seeing it here in a few days.
No, the thing is, I never really even liked Guardians 2. That's the thing. It was the whole planet thing. I don't know. Like there's good moments out of it, of course. That were great, and that's the thing. It's like Guardians is really good at delivering those funny moments, but like I don't know. It's always just kind of like it seemed thrown together, really. And the Guardians 1 was great, fantastic. I loved it. Guardians 2 really, to me, took a step back and kind of turned up that kind of that, I don't know, edge. I don't know what you want to call it. And Guardians 3, with the trailer and everything, I don't care for Adam Warlock, whoever the hell that is. I don't care for the guy with I don't know. Like there's the only thing I care about is really the team itself, and I guess that's where I'll find my joy in it. Groot looks weird as like a bulky teenager. But I am curious as to how some of these characters just don't make it. Apparently there's an otter in this, which I'm excited to see. There's the dog,
Ilya, something like that. It's Rocket's like love interest.
Yeah, the dog, the Cosmos. Cosmos is the name, right? The dog.
Yep.
He's gonna be fun to watch in there. And of course, so yeah, it's like middle tier for me as far as like interest goes. Like, am I gonna enjoy it? Yeah, I'll probably have fun with it, but not as much maybe as I think what I'm fearing is that Ant-Man, it takes a step forward as far as the multiverse saga, and I feel like we're gonna put the brakes once again with Guardians. Because if this is a finale movie, I don't feel like they're gonna take as much time to move the plot forward as to wrap up the story, which is fine, but the timing of when this movie comes out then makes it kind of weird.
I could see that. One thing I think that will kind of alleviate that for myself a bit, at least, is that the Guardians have never been tied in super tight, other than having an Infinity Stone.
I was like, they did have an Infinity Stone,
and that's fine. If they have something, we know the High Evolutionary is going to have connections to the bigger world, or at least I'm guessing.
And then you did have Nebula, and you did have Gamora, and they were tied with Ronan, and they were tied pretty good with Thanos.
but it didn't move anything. It was tied to it, but it's its own self-contained story, sort of. The Power Stone remains cosmic. It doesn't get closer to Thanos. It didn't get further away from Thanos. It remained essentially out of reach. It's connected. It doesn't. None of them moved the story forward any. And when they show up in Infinity War, and the characters that survived into Endgame, they're just working with it again. I'm hoping I can forgive it, but I can see where it's like, hey, we didn't move anything for a while. You move some with Ant-Man, and then all of a sudden you stop moving again. It might come out as jarring. We'll have to see. I hope the music is good. I like the song choices they've used for the two trailers so far. Gunn's always had a good ear for the music choices in these Guardians projects, except for the Christmas one. Too many songs. Just try to shove too many in there. Should have maybe cut 2 songs, and it would have been a little bit better. But it was like listening to a CD in the car with a audio book at the same time. Like it was a bit much. Too many.
For those of you that don't know, a CD is a circular object that you used to put in cars.
Yes,
they're like DVDs. They're like DVDs.
It was like shuffling your Christmas Spotify playlist while listening to an Audible audiobook. That's what the Christmas special was. It was just too much constant, one after another after another. But yeah, man, I'm like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm so scared. It sucks that I feel scared about going to Marvel movies. It really does. But like I've said, it's not like they've got a great track record right now. I want Ant-Man and the Wasp to be great, and we'll see in a few days whether or not it is. But Guardians 3, I'm
like I guess with Guardians 3, which is actually kind of good, is I'm going into it kind of the same way I'm going in with Shazam, which is with like no expectations. Like I'm just here to watch a movie. Let's have a good time. I guess that's the fun way to do it. Whereas now with like the Flash, I will have a little bit higher expectations because it you know, it feels like quite an epic story. I'm very curious as to how long the runtime on the Flash is going to be, because it feels like it's going to be a very long movie.
It would have to be. It's going to have to be one of those 2.5 hours ish. Let's see if there's any rumors out there right now. I do not see. There was something from the direct said that nope, that's a movie trailer runtime. So yeah, there is no theatrical runtime rumors out right now. I would wager it'll probably push 2.5 hours easily. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's one of the things I liked about Ant-Man was that it cut down the runtime a little bit, because these movies are getting so stupid long. I mean, one of my main deterrents for not watching Avatar was the length of it. Like,
Yeah.
I already didn't like, if it was like a regular sized movie, my fiance and I would have watched it a while ago. No, we seriously, there was 2 weekends where instead of watching Avatar, we picked 2 other movies because we were
the runtime.
We were not gonna sit through a movie. We were not gonna sit through that movie for that long. I mean, so
Yeah.
So
you're missing out on the movie of the century, man.
It's not the movie of the century.
Endgame was.
Yeah.
So far, so far.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. So, fun news that just came in, through Variety. Leslie Grace, who you all know as the actress who almost played Batgirl, had her first major interview with them with Variety, and said that that she thought that the film was definitely had good potential and was at some points incredible, according to what she said. But we already know what the powers that be has said. They said it was unreleasable and that they applauded WB's decision to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think it's just an artist defending her project? I think so.
I mean, it's all subjective anyways. I got the article up on the screen for those that kind of want to read the specific quotes. I think I look at the Super Bowl commercials. Like, there was car commercials with dancing animals doing, choreographed TikTok style dancing. You and I have talked about the influence of social media and short form viral moments being used in not just marketing but in actual movies themselves. There is a, and it's subjective, but there is a definitely difference in quality acceptance in people today. What they feel is high quality to them is CW level stuff to you and I. And CW's had fun shows, and we accept that, they've got a feel to them. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, even though they all kind of feel the same, look the same, have that same texture, if you will. But other people think that that's good all the time, and that's A-list studio quality stuff. She might actually believe it. I don't know. I would hope that it's just an artist defending their work and the work of others and not letting someone get them down. But I'll be honest, man. I have a feeling that there's a lot of people that are willing to accept the corny, the grody, or not grody, corny, and the God, what's the other word I'm looking for? Like Adam West Batman style corniness. I can't think of the other word that I'm looking for, but yeah, man. I
think it has its place, and it has its time.
They do.
It's just I think HBO Max actually would have been a fine place for it too. But I mean, let's be real though. if you'd really felt that, if I mean, the artists are always gonna be like, yeah, you know, art is always subjective, but you have completely different entities and groups of people in the back who went, yeah, no, we're not releasing this, and then
releasing this,
and then James, and I mean, you're taking a total. I mean, they got some of their money back, of course, through, you know, with how the way they did it, but you're still losing. You know, there's still content that you desperately need in this day and age, and you still said no. And then you had other people come in who are now in charge, look at it and go, yeah, no, absolutely not. I think that tells you enough. And I think James Gunn is wacky enough. We know his stuff, and for him to say that, yeah, no, they made a good call, I'm gonna go ahead and side with them. Unfortunately, as much as I like Leslie Grace, I've gotten to talk with her before, and you know how we all feel about Brendan Fraser, sorry. Sometimes man, it just doesn't work, and so so I mean, it's about making those good calls, good decisions, and it's just. Do I want to see it still? Yeah, I still kind of want to see. I would want to see it and then be like, oh yeah, this.
I in this modern world, in the age of piracy on the levels we have not seen since the heyday of the Pirates of the Caribbean. No, like legitimately, I would not be surprised to see elements of this movie making their way to the wild. I am definitely not encouraging anyone to break the law, but you and I both know everything's stored digitally, and if it's on the internet, at one point someone could access it. I think we might see some stuff in the future, just because of how the world is these days. It's one of those things, man. What, like, you know, if you ever got the chance to get 3 wishes, it's like, I wish I could see the Batgirl movie.
Nah, I wouldn't waste the wish on that.
See if it's
no.
See how bad it actually was. You know, like yeah, man. If I could see it, I would definitely like to get a chance to. Because, man, if it really is that bad, and you think of all the crap, and Jonesy on our Discord, he one of the co-hosts of Breaking Geek Radio, he was saying, you know, look, they've released other crap movies, other bad movies see the light of day. I mean, hell, DC at one point released Steel with Shaquille O'Neal, which is a Superman adjacent.
That was the 90s though,
movie.
That's a whole different era.
Still, dude, they released Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, okay.
That was atrocious. They released Whedon's cut of Justice League. That was atrocious. I mean, he's got a point. However, I don't know that it wouldn't necessarily, and it sucks because Keaton was supposed to be in that, and you're just like, man, I'd love to see more Michael Keaton Batman.
And here we are.
We won't.
Well, we're
still only going to get. We knew we were going to get some in the Flash.
Yeah, but
this was more.
I thought we were going to just get like him in the Batcave and a couple little things here and there. It looks
like he's a hell of a lot more.
I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, this ain't a Flash movie. It's a Batman movie. You guys, you know, if there's one thing we know about DC is that they love to say the movie's about somebody else and then make it about Batman. So, and I'm all for it. Justice League, Batman v Superman, obviously, but Batman. it's a Man of Steel sequel, but it's Batman. And then the Batman, obviously, is all about Batman. The Flash is gonna be way more about Batman. And honestly, no one cares about the Flash at this point. We just want Michael Keaton's Batman. And the fact that we're also getting Ben Affleck in there, you know, it's nice. There's one thing I do regret about that whole other regime is that I don't feel like Ben Affleck got a real good chance to actually play the character. We didn't ever get to really focus on him as far as like just a standalone story, which would have been great. And I think that their plans of doing like a Batman Deathstroke movie actually sounded like a really good idea. If they would have actually started with that in the front, do Man of Steel, do that movie first, I think you would have had a way better foundation than the way that they did it. Oh well, I mean Wonder Woman, you could do that one too, because that one did work well. But then go to Batman v Superman and kind of mix the three together. It would have been a way better foundation as far as to like, you know, get that universe us going, because what they ended up doing was building on sand. That just didn't work.
Yeah, no, it didn't. No, nothing they did work, and we're gonna go into this new era with connections to the past era while ignoring an entire group of films and fans. And it's no matter, because it's not a 100% clean break, regardless of how the Flash resets it, you're always going to have these arguments, these debates, these what ifs, these Snyder fans.
No, it's cool and it's fine. Like, I know we make fun of Snyder fans all the time, but everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yes,
and entitled to like whatever you like. I mean, there's people there's got to be like 3 people out there that like Morbius, and there's some people that probably like, you know, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I like him as Spider-Man. I did like their choice for Gwen Stacy. Like, that's kind of the sad thing is we didn't get to see more of them like that, because I thought they were pretty cool as characters on their own. But like, that's kind of where it ends. But it just doesn't work. That, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a business, and if it doesn't make the money it's supposed to make, you gotta try something else. Because even if the 7 people online who are screaming for the Snyderverse get it, they're not gonna have enough money to make more. Like, that's kind of the whole thing. It's like it's not oppression, guys. It's just a business. There's not enough money coming in to make more. That's, I don't know how else you want me to put it, but it's like buying lemons at $3 and selling your lemonade for $1, and then only getting $2 back, but you need $4 now to make the next one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, that's the way it is. We'll see what shakes loose in 2025 with the first of the, Blue Beetle. I feel like it's going to be so insulated, and that's why it's going to carry on. But, you know, we're not going to get our first like feel for this new DCU until Superman Legacy.
Well, you know, if this ends everything, we might get just a slight little hint of something. Maybe. It's far enough in June where they maybe have made a decision. But, I mean, they just built this damn outline. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get anything. But if we do, I will give them points over Marvel, because we still don't know who's playing the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Very, very true. Well, anything else today, man? I think that's a good Monday show. What do you think? Yeah,
so the only thing I will plug in is I interviewed JJ Viard. He is the creator of Adult Swim's King Star King, which had a kind of a little cult run, and he got an Emmy for it though. And they have a special which is either out now or at midnight, depending on when midnight on the 13th actually means. And he has there's a special with the character. He's a great guy. He was fun to talk to. Talked about Waffle Houses, and he's worked with everyone. He's worked with Disney. He's worked with DreamWorks. He's worked with Netflix. And hell, he's animated Shrek before. So as far as animation, he's one of the cool guys to talk to. And that interview's up now. You can watch that special also on HBO Max tomorrow. So and then I got a couple more coming this week.
Cool. And you guys can find Manny's interview at lrmonline.com and the LRM Online YouTube channel, along with all sorts of other interviews, which Manny was trying to plug before I interrupted him. Yeah, there's of course written stories, reviews, opinion pieces, all about everything in entertainment there at lrmonline.com. All of our podcasts and reviews go up on your favorite podcast apps. Just search the Genreverse Podcast Network or the Genreverse on those apps. Daily Cog, Breaking Geek Radio, the Cantina. Anime Versal Reviews will return when our show we were reviewing returns. And then, of course, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem will happen this week. It's been a while. Haven't had any Marvel stuff to review. And we'll be reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. All of those go up on the YouTube channel along with AVR Squared anime reactions and genre shot trailer reactions. No, I did not do reactions yesterday to these trailers. Life got in the way, but that's okay. We do have trailer reactions, and we will be doing more.
No, we do have lives, actually. Let's plug that in instead.
we do have lives. Life happened. So yeah, get subscribed. Lots of really great fun stuff. What's your advice or outro today, Manny? What do you got?
Do you think people think we're just trolls that sit at our desk and make content like 24/7, and that lives actually doesn't happen for us?
I maybe
the 7 people that watch us and the the 800.
We've got like 30 now.
No, I was gonna say 30. Like the 700 weebs that follow you.
Oh God, yes.
My outro for the day that will make you happy is that God is reading manga.
Nice.
Without my permission.
Teenagers. Bye.